What's going on, man? How
What's
you
going
doing?
on, my brother? I'm doing all right, man. I'm kind of shooken up coming from that brother house, but I'm all right, man.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to tell me about it. But first, let me introduce you. This is MGTOW Savior, great guest, a, a, a great YouTube channel, very inspirational. It's helped me out numerous times. Gave me a lot of inspiration when I was watching his channel. I love his content. Um, I'll have to imitate and never duplicate it. The
Man,
great MGTOW Savior.
man, let me tell you something, man. I appreciate the introduction, experience documents. I'm a big fan of yours as well, man. I like your passion, man. I like how you go in detail about female nature, man.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
teach people the knowledge, man, and it is power.
exactly, exactly. Now, before we were talking about what had happened in your personal life, and you were explaining some things happened. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that.
Well, the reason why I've been gone for so long is because I had my own business. I did legal insurance. I helped people who couldn't afford legal, couldn't afford a lawyer. So I provided service with people who couldn't, people who couldn't afford a lawyer. And so I was dealing with some legal problems in my personal life. A woman came after my channel saying that I was preaching hate speech. She sent me to court. She didn't sue my company, but she tried to sue me. But unfortunately, she failed at that because I do have freedom of speech, and I was able to beat that case. But unfortunately, that negative press I got from her, affected my bottom line was my business, and I lost a lot of people, business partners, a lot of people I was doing business with, and my business kind of, went under. So things like that happened, and I went through a lot of depression. I made one of my last videos was kind of doing that phase when I was going through that legal problem with that woman. So, I made that last video letting people know like this is what I do. I made the sacrifices for not for just me, but just for my brothers, paying it forward to brothers who helped save my life. And I just want to explain the things I have done to help a lot of brothers, man. And I just want brothers to know, like, I battled with alcoholism, during my depression, man. I was drinking a lot, man. I was depressed, man. I had brothers that I had built a friendship for my YouTube channel was trying to help me out, man. I was a wreck. I went through a lot of problems, man, and I've started to realize the effect it can have on you when you show your face. You are paying the price, man, if you show your face. You really are. And I was willing to take that price. I'm still willing to pay the price. That's why my channel's still here. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to go in a different direction now. Because over the time, me being gone taught me a lot about myself. It taught me so much about myself, man. And I had a lot of growing up to do. But one thing I did realize being away was what I saw in the MGTOW community. I started seeing a lot of frauds. I started seeing a lot of pimps. I started seeing a lot of brothers who really wasn't passionate about this. Because me being away had me look out from the outside. And seeing it from the outside, I saw a lot of brothers using Patreon as a hustle instead of helping brothers. And I
Mm,
started to realize that we got to start coming together. You can't give somebody the same information expecting them to change. I got enough red pill information on my channel, and I still help brothers to this day from my previous videos. And so I started realizing that I got to start changing my dialect so I can help brothers become better financially stable, help them become better within freedom within themselves, and start helping brothers start coming together. Because one thing I know about us is that we have been conditioned to hate each other, not to help each other, and we have to change that condition. Because we would do more for a woman than we would do, we'd do more for a woman than we would do for our own brothers, man.
absolutely. And well, I wanted to ask you, like, what are some of the things you did when you were going through that depression and going through those hard times? What did you do to pull yourself out of it?
Well, I want to thank a lot of subscribers who helped me out, man. Brothers like Steve. Man, I went through suicide again. I was going through suicide, man. And I mentioned his name, Steve, man. He was one of my subscribers. He helped me out a lot through that, man. I was going through a lot of depression. Another brother by the name of trying to Larry. His name was Larry. He's another subscriber for my channel. I helped him through his marriage. Uh, it was these brothers and a couple of other brothers who helped me through my trials, man, my tribulations, man, when I was dealing with alcoholism and I was dealing with a lot of depression. You know, I lost finances, man. I didn't know where to go, man. I was working for myself, you know, so going back to working for somebody else was very hard for me to do, man. And I had to swallow my pride and essentially go to a plantation. I'm still right now, as I speak to you, I'm trying to get out right now.
Well, I'm trying to get off the corporate plantation as well. We can talk about that a little bit later. But how did these? Because I want men to understand the benefit of male camaraderie and coming together and helping one another through tough times. How did your subscribers help you to get out of that funk?
Most of them who that helped me, man, would talk to me every day, telling me that, you know, you're gonna get through this, or brother, you're gonna be better, man. There was a lot of brothers giving me donations, man, as well. Now, the donation thing, I'm indifferent, but for how I feel about what them brothers was doing for me, they was doing it out of just helping me out, out of just love, you know, just like, man, I'm doing this. You don't ask for it, I just do it. That's why I support you. And a lot of that, a lot of this support, man, alone helping me through my drinking habits. Brothers telling me you got to put the liquor down. You know, I got subscribers here where I'm at located, help me out as well. You know, because I'm located in Dallas, man. A lot of brothers here in Dallas that's red pill helped me out through a lot of my situations, man. Because I lost everything, business parts. You got to imagine that. So the only brothers I had was my red pill brothers, and there was the brothers that helped me through my trials and my tribulations, man, when I was going through deep depression, man. And that's the camaraderie that we need as a community, because you know, I made a video. It's my favorite video. You know, it's called "We Are Alone,"
Yeah,
because at
yeah.
that point I felt the lowest, man. I was alone, but I had brothers there that helped me and pulled me back up, man. You know, helping me out with, you know, like, look, you're gonna get better. I was in your position. You know, this is just a test in life. You know, put down the liquor because that's just doing nothing but taking away your pain. Because that's what I was doing. I wanted to run away from my pain, man. I was trying to figure out why things was happening to me in my life.
You know, I want to piggyback off of that because when these people came and helped you, we were talking about it briefly a little bit before the race thing and how there's like a divide and conquer amongst men of all different colors and creeds. I was wondering if you could talk about like how these men when they came together, it wasn't about race or anything. They just helped you just to help you, right?
Exactly. Man, this is the thing about it. Steve, he's man, he's a white guy. He's a Caucasian guy, man. He helped me out a lot through
Hmm.
my trials and my tribulations, man. And so, you know, during these tough times, man, I started to realize that all of the helping I did with brothers who were suicidal, all the helping I did with brothers who was going through a divorce and I helped them get through it. I started realizing all that dividends started getting paid in full to me now. You know, all the brothers I helped, they started helping me when I was going through my problems, man. And that to me meant so much, man. It meant a lot, man, because I started to realize the effects on how I affected people's life and how it came back tenfold, and it started affecting my life in a positive way when they started helping me out a lot, man. Because I was a wreck, man. I stopped making videos, as you can see, for a lot of months. I took a break from YouTube, man. I was trying to figure my life out again, man. And a lot of brothers like, when you gonna be back, man? I tell them I'm gonna be back, but I'm gonna be back different and better, man. Because I started to see brothers hustling other brothers in the MGTOW community, man.
Yeah.
I call it the pimp Patreon.
You
You
know
know, the
what?
pimp Patreon.
Before I forget, I'm glad you brought that point up. There was another guy, Messenger Rising. That has an excellent YouTube channel. You guys should check him out if you can. He's like an Australian British guy or something like that. But he said something that stuck with me. He said that a lot of men um, had started to sell men's suffering, and I said, man, that is absolutely correct. They are they know that men are going through tough times, that they know men need some advice, and what they're doing is they're going to give people advice, but with the caveat of you need to buying the Patreon and these levels in Patreon. And there's this one guy who's supposedly red pill aware. I don't really want to say the guy's name. It's not the guy we were talking about earlier. But he has like, you can call him up and it's like, I don't know, like $30 for, 15 minutes. And he has all these levels.
Oh, man.
And they do this like this group. And the advice really, from my point of view, really doesn't really help men that much. But let me talk about something else as far as like helping men. There, Thinking Man Templar, right? He has a MGTOW channel. It's called Thinking Man's Templar.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, I just wanted to put this out there. Recently, he had a trucking job, and he was doing a trucking job, and he got jumped and beat up, and the trucking company fired him. Fired him for getting beat up. And you probably saw the video, and what happened after that, he put out a video and he was explaining his situation, and all these men came to support him with donations and helping him with, helping words and really lifted him up. And now he has another job. And he was talking about for men nowadays, the benefit of having a skill, not a college degree, but having a skill to where if something happens to you, you can always pick yourself up and keep it moving. But I loved how he talked about how men came together and helped him. But what do you think about that?
Man, it's amazing. This is my thing. It's amazing what we can do when we come together, man. It's crazy when you see us today as a society, as men. We will literally do anything to screw each other over, like to get ahead as men. We will, we will lie, we will cheat, we would do anything. I mean, we won't even
to your own community.
Man, I'm telling you, we would do anything to get ahead above the next man to impress a female.
Yep.
A female who essentially want money from you in the first place. That's all she wants. So you'll rather give money to a female who's using you than help a brother who's in need. And that's the biggest problem I'm seeing, man. Like when you look in the MGTOW community today, you see a lot of brothers saying donate here, donate there, juice boxes, whatever the hell they try to do to make money and try to make money for themselves. Say, oh, thank you for the support because this information is so valuable. That what people need is help. Your information is good, but where's the help at? Why can a brother truly reach out to you without having to pay you? Why do I have to pay you for you to listen to me? That sound no different than a pastor at the church. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then what Messenger Rising, he said, he brought up another good point. He said, how was that any different than the average woman that takes advantage of men?
Exactly.
And I said, yeah. I was like, man, that's a good point. You can't say that you want to help men and then start charging. Now, I understand if men want to donate to you, they want to help you out here and there, but that shouldn't be your primary focus, making money off of other men. And that's one of the things I don't like. And that's one of the things I don't like about the PUA dating coach community, because that's essentially what they're doing as well.
Man, exactly. Oh man, that community, man, most of these communities, man, when people, when I got into the red pill community, man, I came into the community to do the same thing they did for me. They helped me out with my life. They helped me out. They saved my life, man. This information is a lifesaver because it's education. Because
Exactly.
most of the time when we get in these relationships and they go bad, we like to blame ourselves for everything.
Exactly.
As men, we like to take accountability. So when you really see the truth and you understand it, man, it really wasn't me. It was her. It was just the way she is. It was her nature. And once you understand that, it's like it's hard for you to be hurt with something like that. It's like when you know something, how can you be affected by it? Because you know it.
Exactly, exactly. And the thing is, one of the things I've noticed about MGTOW, one of the many benefits of MGTOW, excuse me, is that not only do you start to see female nature, but you start to see human nature as well. You start to see how some the people in your life, may not be your friends. You start to see like how the job is
Wow.
using most men. You start to see like how the benefits of traveling worldwide and broadening your horizons. You start to see the value in things that you never saw the value in before, and that's what I really like about MGTOW. But what do you think?
This is my thing. You brought up a great point when you talk about how society is against man because the government is. The reason why the government is against us because we competition. You wipe out the competition. How you get rid of the competition? You feminize the man. You take the alpha males out the community. It's funny to me when I hear men talk about they alpha males. I'm gonna be truly honest with you. Ain't no such thing as alpha male anymore. We're a generation of men raised by women. We're trying to get our masculinity back to this day. We recover, and that's honesty, man. We're a generation of men raised by women. It's the reality. Men do not have any power in a household anymore. As long as the laws the way they are, you do not have any power. And see, the funny thing about when you look at society, you have this racial division, right? But I don't care if you're a Jew. I don't care if you're a black man. I don't care if you're an Asian man or a Hindu man. I don't care if you're an Arabic man. And I'm sure I said I don't care if you're a Caucasian white man. We all catch the same hell by this court system, by this legal system that is corrupt against men, that look at men as an exposable canned good that can be used at any time.
Hmm.
A society and a government that use and abuse us, take away our livelihood due to wage garnishes, take away our license. You know what I'm talking about because we can't deny
Exactly.
this today. We have to be honest about what's going on. I don't care what race. I don't care if you are a right wingist or a left wing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you are. I don't care if you got a Confederate flag in your back. We still catch the same hell by the same enemy, and that's the biggest problem. When I look at the definition of man going his own way, it's not just going your own way from women. It's going your own way from the establishment, the system that is against you. The laws wasn't purpose. The laws wasn't just put there for no reason. It was put there for a purpose, and the purpose was to get rid of you. That was the purpose. You see
Exactly.
more homeless men on the street than ever today.
Exactly. And that's the thing that a lot of men need to come to an understanding of. It's like, and we were talking about this briefly before, when it comes to race and men coming together. It's because, like, in a gynocentric environment, the gynocentric worldview, they want men to fight one another. Because when men fight one another, especially over women, the government wins, women wins, you're the loser. It doesn't make any sense for men at this point to keep doing that. If men come together, if men were to come together and say, look, we are no longer going to be disposable. And not only that, we're going to use male camaraderie to build our communities. You wouldn't necessarily need the government because the men would come together, brainstorm, and do it ourselves. Or
Exactly.
it would be a smaller government for sure. And you wouldn't need a lot of things. You know what I mean? What do you really need? You need a house, you need a way to get some food and stuff like that. Men can strategize and bring that to fruition. You don't need all the other stuff, but you need men to fight one another if you want to
Exactly.
maintain global economic control.
Supremacy, global supremacy. Exactly. And so, look, an alpha male, a definition of a true alpha male is a man who builds. A strong man, he wants to build for his community. A strong man, he wants to provide for his community. A strong alpha male man is who they fear in this society.
Exactly.
MGTOW is a threat. The red pill community is a problem. The reason why it's not promoted because they fear it. If you bring it to the light, it's going to become a problem because everybody going to want to know what it's about and be a part of this. When I see this community, this small community uh, of aware men, a small community of men with power, because knowledge is power. And when you see this community of brothers who help each other and who look out for each other and who can see the bigger picture, that's a rare breed of men. Because when you go out into the blue pill society, when you go out into the blue pill world, you see dumbfounded men. You see brain dead men. When you tell them about society, they push away from it. You get men like Derek Jackson, who come out here with his videos and
Oh,
talk about how men are this and men need to step up and man up. But guess what Derek Jackson was? Derek Jackson is a symbolism of the blue pill mindset. Derek Jackson is a symbolism of a single parent household. Derek Jackson is a symbolism of a self-hating man who hates his brothers. And he's a traitor to his race of his brothers. And when I'm talking about race, I'm talking about the male race, the man race, who hate his brothers, who hate himself because he hated his father. This is where these symptoms come from, brother. He was taught
yeah,
hate by his mom because his mom told him that his dad wasn't shit. And by his mom telling him that, guess what? Passed it down to that boy. And he gonna pass it down again.
yeah. That's the thing about men, man. I mean, men will say that, oh yeah, you know, we come together, we build cities, we build bridges, we build infrastructure. But just like MGTOW Universe said, shout out to MGTOW Universe, great guy, great channel. He said that nothing's being done about male disposability. So as long as you have male disposability where men don't care about other men,
Man,
where men will fight and kill other men for women and for power and pride and all that stuff, we're never going to get anywhere.
man.
What at this point, when you see society, what is the point? Why are we doing this to each other? At some point, we're going to have to take a turn for the better. We're going to have to decide as men, look, we have to push culture and society into a direction that benefits us at some point.
Exactly. We're going to have to, because the whole plan is divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Yep.
And we have to understand that as men and look at the bigger picture. Go your own way. Why? Because you can become independent. We have to go our own way so we can build our own communities. Learn how to grow food. Become independent. We can build a house from wood, chop down trees. We got to go back to what we used to be, man. Alpha males, them the true alpha males, the true builders, man, of society.
Yeah, you see all this stuff about alpha male this and alpha male that online, and it's really a bunch of nonsense. Like there was this one guy, dating coach, and some of the advice he was given was just horrible. One of the videos, he was saying how to date a woman with kids or something, and I'm thinking to myself, this is some of the worst advice I ever heard in my life. Guys are going to go out there, they're going to date women with kids, and they're going to get caught up on the plantation.
Exactly.
But
every time.
Every time. I mean, I've seen it, numerous times, and there's other advice that these so-called alpha male guys are talking about. One guy, the Patreon guy that I talked about earlier, he was talking about, like, should you date a woman with kids, and he's weighing the pros and cons, and I'm just like, what is but let me ask you this. Where would you like, you said you have some ideas of where you would like MGTOW to go. Where do you want MGTOW to go?
I want the community, the red pill community, go in a direction of self-improvement. I want the red pill community to go in the direction of camaraderie. I want the red pill community to go in a direction where instead of donating to your brothers, helping your brothers. If you're gonna do donations, come together and get a pile of money, start a Patreon, and start giving back to each other, creating some type of job opportunities. There's all type of ways to make money. Let's do something positive for each other for a change, because we all struggling. Most of us is stuck on the plantation, the
Mhm.
wage plantation, due to
Mhm.
divorce, due to child support, because they're afraid of that woman calling the cops on them. We have to be aware of these things and help each other instead of saying, I want a donation so I can get paid because my information is valuable enough to take your money. The only time I'm gonna listen to you if you pay me $1 or 2 shekels. Now we need to change that mindset and create a new identity for ourselves and go around brothers who truly want to help each other and truly want to build from each other and become better. Self-improvement is the most important thing for us as a community.
Absolutely. Self actualization. One of the things I would like to see MGTOW go to is to escape 2 plantations. And I talked about it briefly in one of my videos. I want, number one, I want MGTOW men to escape the pussy plantation where you're
Man,
always lusting after women, lusting after female validation, lusting after wanting a woman there all the time to tell you that you're a man, you're the alpha man, your game is so good. That's number one. Number two, I would love for men to get off that corporate plantation. It's time for us to leave
man,
this corporate plantation. That's
I'm
one of the
telling
things I'm trying to do right now. But when I went down to the DR and I went to Tailor Made Dreams, he had like a red pill retreat. That's what he was talking about. Leaving America, leaving the matrix, finding a place in the world where things just make sense for you, where you feel like you can you can self actualize, where you can
you,
build,
man.
find that place and do it. And real quick before I come back to a question for you, there's this thing I did a video about it. It's called man, self identity. Oh man, I forgot. But basically, what it is it was in my video. It's not who you are, but where you're at. And basically, what it was is when I was in the military, I found that every man has a place on this planet that just fits who he is. It may be a village in Italy, it may be in Colombia, it may be in Peru, someplace. But it's your job to find that place and live there and escape that corporate plantation and escape the pussy plantation.
Man,
But
they
back to
both
what,
plantations, man,
yeah, you
and
gotta leave both.
I want men to understand. Like, it's some men that can't help themselves and they deal with women. That's okay. If you want to deal with them, I never tell a man what to do with his penis because it's his.
Exactly. Exactly.
But what I will say is this: understand what you're dealing with. If you got to deal with it, understand it. Because if you understand, you will never be hurt. If you understand it, you're gonna know how to deal with it. It's like being in the lion's den. If you understand the lines, you're gonna know how to handle them lines.
Exactly. Well, here's one of the things I've noticed, and I wanted to pass this on to men because this I saw this in the military when I got out as well. One of the things that happens with a lot of men is when they're dating, and this is what the dangerous thing about these dating coaches and all these pickup artists or whatever. When you're going around and you're getting with a lot of women and you're doing good, your game is so tight or whatever. They're generally what happens is you find a chick just on any random day when you're feeling like maybe you're getting too old for this, maybe whatever. It's something about this particular woman that grabs your attention, and then you end up falling in love with her. Then you end up generally having kids with her or something like that, forming a relationship with her, and she ends up taking you for all your work. This happens to many men, or she ends up ruining your life in some form or fashion.
Dude,
This happens to so many men, and the thing is, society wants you to be that guy. They want you to be that game guy going out there, big ego, or going out there trying to impress women, buying all this stuff, because they know that the odds, like a casino, the odds are the
man,
house aside. They know eventually you're gonna fall victim to your biology. Nine
exactly,
times out
man.
of 10. Yeah, but what do you think about that?
They know exactly what they doing, man. In order to destroy your man, you got to use the woman to do it. That's his weakness. That's how you play him. We live in America. Let me get this. My bad about that. Let me get this straight. We living in America. We living in a place where whores are celebrities. We living in a place where women can post a picture on Instagram and become famous. We live in a society of you if you look good, you ain't, if you're a female and you look good, you ain't got to worry about working. You can just hustle men for the rest of your life. This is a society we live in, and this is honesty. This is the society we live in, and America is a place where all women want to go because they get to live how they choose to live. It don't get no better than that. This good country here. Where else can I be able to screw a man over in this good country here? Where else can I have a baby by a man and have him on as a wage slave for 22 years? This is a good country as a woman. Where else can I do false rape allegation as a woman and have all the freedom and ride the cock carousel 20 to 30 men? Where else do I get to pick and choose a simp on the plantation to pay my way through life? This is a good country. This is for the modern day female. This is why she want to come here. Overseas, the females overseas, they dream about coming to America because they know the freedoms of women in America. This is the land of the free for women in America. And they can disrespect men all they want in America. They can lie and do what the hell they want in America because they got the government backing them because the war is on men. And we got to wake up and understand that there's the wars against you.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. When you look at it practically, I was thinking about it the other day, like, why wouldn't a woman do that? Let's say a company came to you, MGTOW Savior, and they said, look, we'll pay you a good wage. You come to work and you really don't have to do much of nothing. And then every 2-3 years, just do a project, you know what I mean? And once you do this project, after about 10 years, you can leave the company and we'll pay you about $5,000 per each project monthly for 18 years. And on top of that, we'll pay you about $5,000, it depends, $10,000, $20,000 a month for the rest of your life. After 10 years, and we'll do this after 10 years once you leave the company. Wouldn't you,
man?
If they told you that, wouldn't you stay at that company, do those couple of projects, and then leave after 10 years?
Hell yeah,
I mean,
man.
Doesn't make any sense. But yet, the guys think that because they love a woman so much that they're just going to stick around. When they have all that incentive to just leave them and take all that money.
Only women say things change. Only women say that. You know, you get a woman say, we grew apart. You know why they the only ones that say we grew apart and things change? Because they get the benefits from leaving you. They get benefits to leave you. There's a benefit for them leaving you. Child support, spousal support. That's a benefit. So of course we're going to grow apart. Now I can go to someone else that I can do the same thing to. It don't get no better than that. It's a benefit to leaving you. That's why we're going to grow apart one day. But when that day come, I'm going to be ready for it.
And that's the thing. And then men don't really understand this. And not only do they not understand that, they don't understand that the government's in on it. Well, some men will say that, but I mean, if you're working as part of the government and you have all these guys who are willing to get married and then get divorced and they, paying the lawyers, paying the family court system, of course, the police benefit as well when, they enforce the laws and stuff like that. So everyone's getting paid off of you, the man.
Trying to tell you, man. Everybody.
It's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Where can men go from here?
Self-actualization, as you said. Men can be truly free by focusing on themselves and helping brothers. If you want to deal with women, enjoy yourself. And that's just that. live your life, man, for peace, man. Live your life for bettering yourself and being a better person for yourself. You know, people always think that bettering yourself is being rich and wealthy. No, bettering yourself is finding out what makes you happy in life. That's what
Mm,
truly bettering yourself. We get this greed factor, man, and we become so greedy. And we, you know, as you notice, like in the community, like I was telling you, man, brothers are so greedy that they screw their own brothers over for $1 or a
mm.
dollar. Or they get so many subscribers, they act like they're a celebrity. And they won't even let brothers even reach out to them to help. I ain't getting to this community to be a celebrity. I got into this community to help men because they
Exactly.
suffering.
Exactly. And we were talking about this before. E-Man 67 one time, I think he was taking donations at some point, but then he made a video and he said it's not about the money, it's about the message. And that's when I took down my Patreon. Well, I didn't take that, like I said, I didn't take down the links. I took the links out of the videos because
Mm-hmm.
it's not about the money, man. It is about the message. It's about helping men. When I was in the military, man, and male camaraderie, you can't put a value um, on male camaraderie. You can't put a dollar sign on male camaraderie. When you're around a group of men and you're giving to them and they're giving to you, they see you broke down on the side of the road, they come and help you out. Man, there's no amount of money that you could pay for that. Male camaraderie is what builds societies.
Man, what
Man,
build nations, my
what
brother.
builds nations, exactly. So, man, we really got to get away from that, you know, beating down other men just to get ahead.
We got to, man. It's not gonna benefit nobody but the corrupt government who's dividing and conquering us. That's the only people that's gonna get the benefit from it, brother.
Yeah, I remember I was thinking about one thing. I was like, a blue pill man or simple, whatever, what you want to call it, is a slave to pussy. The player is a slave to his ego. The pimp is a slave to money. But a self-actualized man, true man, is a slave to nothing.
Man, that's deep right there, man, because it is reality. Once you can break away from the plantation and society
Mm.
and become independent, because the truth of the matter is this: the government fear when we come together. These conversations with different races of brothers who can come together and look at the bigger picture and understand that it's bigger than fighting each other and arguing with each other over things that would not benefit society or each other as a whole. We begin to see what's really going on. We begin to understand that, look, we in trouble.
Yeah,
And we begin to look at the government and the bigger picture, what they want to do with men. They truly, I'm a true believer of this. They really want to get rid of male masculinity and create homosexuals, man. They really want that.
you know what I think, man. I think society is heading. I was watching this video on the Nature Channel way back in the day. Not way back in the day, maybe 7 years ago, and it was talking about these bees. These female bees, right, will infiltrate a colony, and they'll act like the queen bee. So there are like 5 or 6 of them, right? And
Hmm.
they're imposters, but the bees will find them and they'll kill them most of the times. But then on rare occasions, one of the bees will get to the queen. She will take the role. She'll act like the queen, and then she'll tell the workers, the female workers, to kick the queen out. So
Mm.
then she becomes a queen, and then she starts reproducing, right? But she reproduces clones of herself that are asexual that can not bear any children. So what happens is the asexual clones start to outnumber the real bees, and then the beehive dies off.
Damn.
And I was thinking that seems what's happening in society as a whole right now.
Today.
It seems like, yeah, it seems like with the single mother thing, when they're having kids, they're pretty much just clones of the mother. when I talk about single mothers, how they self-sabotage, how the men grow up overly feminized, they're overly emotional. You see like those thugs in the street, they're overly emotional, they'll just kill you over anything. And
Man,
it just causes society to continue to go downward. And I think it's similar to what's happening in that bee colony. But yeah, keep on elaborating on your point.
it is a plan for population control. Feminism was all that, man, to destroy the families, man. Believe it or not, America used to be about family, man, before feminism. You know, women, a dream for a woman back in them days was to be married and to be in the house. That was her dream. It wasn't not, that was the dream of the old fashioned woman, was to be in the house and take care of her man and the kids. And that was it. Cook for them every day and teach the children. That was it. That was it for a woman. Now we live in a society where being a hoe is a dream.
You know what I think, man? I think feminism, feminism is unfettered female nature. I think women always wanted
Man,
that. I
yeah,
think they were always like that. I think it was just that in the society that we had at the time, it pushed it down to stop women from taking advantage of a full female nature. But I think women have always been like that throughout biblical times, throughout all times. I think women never wanted to be subservient to men. They never wanted to be underneath men. They wanted to do their own thing. And I think that's what's happening right now with the technology that we have. It's showing how women really are when they don't have to rely on men.
man, exactly. But the see, the thing is that they still relying on men,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
and that's the sad thing. You know, they use men to extract resources on a whole nother level now.
Yeah,
It used to be they had no choice. It was either
exactly.
be a wife or be a fucking whore. That was it. But now it's like, well, I mean, you can do what you want now. You can be a hoe by using men, or you can trick them into marriage and fuck them over. You have choices now. You have options. You can be a full-time hoe, or you can be a short-time hoe. Which one you want?
Exactly. Exactly.
You
And
have a choice. You have an option.
the thing is, since women never really love men, it's it's just something that we project onto them. They're going to choose to well, if this guy is going to be such a pushover where I can use him, then I'm going to use him. Or this alpha male guy who thinks his game is so cool, I'll let him think his game's so tight, and I'll just stay in his house. I'll cheat on him whenever I want to on the down low, and I'll keep him around as a workhorse. You know,
Exactly.
with all those guys that think, yeah, let me talk about this for a minute. There's a lot of these red pill, quote unquote, red pill dudes. They'll say that I have a girlfriend or I have a wife, and they're thinking, well, I keep them in check because I know the red pill ways. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not true. It's just that that woman thinks you're a good workhorse. She knows that she can come and go as she pleases. She knows that you're going to do most of the work in the relationship. So she'll allow you to think that you got game and that you're alpha male. But in reality, she knows that she's pulling all the strings. That's why I made that video talking about how women use submissiveness to get over on men.
Think about this. Think about this. We know they have a lot of sexual partners. You know they experienced a lot in the bedroom. You know they experienced a lot of different personalities. Do you really think you're special when you come in their
Exactly.
life?
Exactly. That's the mistake that a lot of men make. They think I thought so too. And there was another guy who explained it. He said that every man has like a ghost of a woman in the back of his mind to where he feels that he's the only man that can satisfy her. But that is absolutely not true. There's always more men, and they want more men. If you got six pack abs, they want three guys with six pack abs.
Man,
If they got to do this a millionaire, they want to do that is a multimillionaire. It's
it's
always going to be that way.
this is just the reality, the sad reality, you know. This is the real sad reality, man. Because We had a society where it wasn't like this, where female nature was in check. And female nature was in check. Maybe it was harsh. Maybe it was hardcore back in them days,
Yeah.
but it was in check. It was in check. It was checked and balanced. And that's the true, how the truth and how it should be in society. And it may sound like, oh, you being evil, you think women should be controlled. Look how it is without control. Look at society.
Well, the thing is,
They got freedom.
Yeah, the thing is, what I'm learning, at least for myself, I think once you become self-actualized as a man, I mean, the woman can do whatever she wants, but I'm still free. I can still do whatever I want. And if every man was self-actualized and wasn't addicted to female validation and power and sex and all that stuff, it wouldn't matter what the woman did, because you will always be happy doing what you got to do, I think. You know?
And I'm a true believer, brother. I just want to say, my brothers, man, who subscribe to me, man, I want y'all to know, man, I'm gonna be back. I went through a lot of stumbling blocks in my life, but I'm coming back in a new direction, man. I just had to go through. I had a lot of growing to do. I had a lot of growing to do, man. And I went through a lot of growing pains, losing a lot, man, because I realized how serious it was going your own way, and that you can be affected, actually just helping men, help save lives, man, because this is saving a lot of lives, man. So many brothers I have helped out within their life, through their life, man. And I just want to tell y'all this message because it's important, man, that we come together, because we all we have in this society.
Very true.
We are the true leaders. We are the true builders. And we are the true alpha males. We just got to go back to our masculinity, to building and camaraderie, to coming into something new, go our own way, come together and create something new, make a difference.
True.
Stop talking about the same stuff we know. We know about female nature. We know the game. It's time to start self-improvement. It's time to start becoming better. That's going to change society, and that's going to shift society, because if we don't, what's going to be left for men?
That's true.
What type of men we're going to have left in the society? Feminized, weak men.
Yep.
Who get run over by everybody, who want to be females, who want to dress like transgenders, who want to be women, put dresses on. Them the man we're going to be left with. And that's not a society I want to live in.
That's true. I see it happening in the workforce, where, like, Immortal Minds called the Hooters business model, where you have women in the workforce where guys fight over pretty much. And you have like a feminized men that do the work that women don't want to do. And they pick up all the slack while the woman is coveted in the working environment. But as far as your new content coming out, like when you start doing videos again, you said you're going to focus on self-improvement. But what do you think the first video you make when you come back, what's it going to be about?
One of my first videos, man, when I come back, it's going to be the war on masculinity.
Okay.
And that's the most important war, because it all began with feminism. That's when they started the war against men, because they wanted to destroy the families, and they wanted to create a new idea, man. I talked about the feminist mafia in my videos, man, a lot. And the feminist mafia. One of my videos got taken down. I want to say before I do leave, brother. One of my videos called "The Feminist Mafia" got taken down, and that's a classic. I think it was one of my best videos. But YouTube, a lot of women didn't like it. But in that video, I talked about the court system. I went in detail about the court system and how it was used to destroy men, and how the damage affected the children throughout society. How the children were so affected by not seeing their fathers, because the women would send the men to the cleaners and expect the man to be able to still be a father when he had no finance to survive.
Mm.
And it was it was a deep video, man. I remember seeing the brother comment on that video. He said, man, I'm crying right now because I feel this story because I went through this. So many men are, and so many men are dealing with so much trauma in their life because of this, man. I'm telling you, the court system, I mean, it's a setup, man. That's why I call it the feminist mafia, because they created this whole system, man. By the help of the government, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to talk about that. Is there any other topics you wanted to cover when you come back?
It's gonna be more. My channel is gonna be more focused on man coming together, man. I want to be able to save man, um, not just through female nature, just save man throughout their life. Help them get past the rage, man. Help us come together financially, man. I want to start a group where brothers can start coming together. And we can start investing and building towards something different, man. Start making money together. Start and stop taking from each other. That's my whole goal. That's gonna be my center focus on my channel is making a positive, big change within the red pill community, within the manosphere, man.
Mm. I would like to see men leave the matrix, America, aka
Exactly.
America, and go somewhere where they can actually be better men. I would love to see that. I saw that in the Dominican Republic when I went down there recently. A lot of guys networking and working together and thinking about building in the future. So I would like to see that. All right, so cool. So you like to see building. You're going to talk about how the government is against men. Anything else?
No, that's gonna be mainly my focus, brother. Is talking about how building and getting men to be able to, and getting men to explore the world and experience different cultures and women and just enjoy their life, man. Live free as a man, you know, and be independent because it's your life now. Take it back. You don't have the expectations of getting married anymore. It's not your life. They told you that was your life. That defined you. That don't define you. You define your life as a
Yeah.
man. No one else define you.
And that sounds good, man. So, man, we covered a lot of ground on this talk. Is there any other topics that you want to cover?
Oh, that's it, my brother, man. I wanted to just let brothers know that, man, I'm going to be back, man, and I'm not going to be gone for long, brother. I just went through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, man, and a lot of different stumble blocks I went through, man. And I want to thank all of my subscribers for helping me get to 3,000. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm still out there, man, and I just want y'all to know, man. Thank you for calling my phone. And thank you for helping me through my trials and my tribulations within my life.
I also want to say before we close, I want to say that once again, man, I really appreciate your content. I really appreciate what you're doing to help men out there, and I hope that your channel grows to over 100,000 subscribers.
Thank
And
you,
I hope
brother.
you can continue to help men just the way you're doing, man.
Thank you, my brother.
So cool, man. So if there's nothing else, I guess I'll just sign off, and we'll keep in touch.
Most
And
definitely. I mean, I want to say this, man. Your
what's up?
content is amazing, man. I mean, the way you go in detail about how female nature, how they operate, and how predictive they is, dude. I mean, your content is amazing, man.
Man, I really appreciate it, man, coming from you, man. That's a huge honor to hear you say that. Just because I've been listening to your content for so long, I really, excuse me, I really, really, really appreciate it.
No problem, my brother.
Well, cool, man. I guess be sure to check out. I think tomorrow I'll be talking to Black Ram about the Tailor Made Dreams trip. So be sure to check that out, man. And I'll keep in touch.
All right, my brother. MGTOW for life.
MGTOW for life.
All right, now.
Bye.
Bye.